The Charlie Grom surf contest at Satellite Beach, Florida, turned from thrilling to chilling after a young surfer found himself at the center of a shark encounter. The tense video begins as event officials urgently call surfers out of the water following reports of a shark spotted near the competition zone. Among them, a young contestant named Tanner tries to stay composed while paddling toward shore. Moments later, the rolling waves reveal a dark shape following closely behind him. Tanner maintains remarkable composure, resisting the urge to panic as he powers through the surf with steady strokes, racing the predator to safety.
He's right there.
Fortunately, the shark eventually veers away, and rescue personnel quickly guide Tanner back to shore. Onlookers and his parents exhale in relief as he steps onto the sand, shaken but unharmed, after one of the most nerve-wracking moments ever caught on camera. A grainy security camera recorded something disturbing in a dark river. Faint, human-like faces appeared to rise from the surface, drifting slowly, unnervingly still, before sinking back under the water for a moment. It seemed like multiple shapes were watching from below, their expressions frozen. The clip is brief, but haunting enough to make people replay it, each frame colder than before. Whether a camera malfunction or something unknown, one thing's certain: the river wasn't empty that night. On October 20th, 2025, off the coast of Sicily in the Mediterranean Sea, a group of fishermen lifted their nets expecting an ordinary haul. But what happened next left everyone stunned. Caught in the ropes and seaweed was an ordinary-looking fish, likely a snapper. Then, a large, feminine figure suddenly leapt from the water and seized it. The strange creature nearly hit one of the fishermen. The moment was brief, but it moved with unnatural speed. Upon closer look, it had blonde hair and a green fish-like tail, while the upper body was human-shaped with dark skin and deep eyes, suggesting a deep-sea origin. The description closely resembled that of a siren, especially the webbed hands. It vanished back beneath the waves with the fish, almost as if saving it, leaving the fishermen shocked and speechless. Along a quiet section of the Amazon River, a small group came across something deeply disturbing: a pale, human-shaped figure lying near the riverbank. Its features were oddly distorted, with limbs that didn't look entirely natural. The body appeared smooth-skinned and eerily intact, unlike any known creature from the rainforest. The short clip soon spread online, with some insisting it was evidence of an undiscovered species, while others believed it to be an elaborate hoax. Still, the haunting realism of its appearance made viewers stop and look twice. While fishing at a quiet pond near Nashville, Tennessee, a couple noticed something unusual moving in the distance. At first, they couldn't tell what it was, just a dark shape slowly twisting through the cloudy water. As they got closer, the truth became clear. It wasn't anything dangerous, just two massive snapping turtles mating.
Too big to be a squirrel.
I think it's two.
That's not a turtle, is it? Hold up.
I really think it's otters.
Why would there be an otter?
Because it's a lake.
But like, it swam all the way through that?
These creatures, especially the alligator snapping kind, are known for their size, strength, and deliberate movements, even during moments like this. Still, at first glance, the sight looked far more disturbing than it actually was. A girl went swimming with her friend near a rocky cave, laughing and splashing as photos were taken to capture the fun. Later, while her mother was scrolling through the pictures, she spotted something startling. Right beside the girl was another figure in the water. It seemed almost like a mermaid. Some brushed it off as nothing more than sunlight and water creating an illusion, but others believed it could be rare evidence, suggesting that mermaids might actually exist. Creepy forest creature. A strange, unidentified creature was caught on camera in a remote area of Vermont, near a small body of water. It appeared to crawl out from the edge just minutes after the person filming had set up their tent. Its eyes glowed in the dark, suggesting it might be an animal, and its face and mouth faintly resembled that of an alligator. However, there are no alligators in Vermont, at least not naturally. This creature also seemed to have two horns and a wide mouth, ruling out any known species. So what do you think it was? After reports of loud splashes and strange noises coming from Loch Murray, the Mariners Museum dispatched a helicopter to investigate. From above, they captured something extraordinary. massive, unidentified shape moving beneath the surface of the water. Many quickly connected it to Chessie, the legendary sea creature said to inhabit Chesapeake Bay. But could this truly be evidence that the old myth is real? These are the kinds of creatures that chase you in nightmares. An unknown fisherman caught several eerie, eyeless fish, their sharp teeth strong enough to bite through bone, and no one has been able to identify them. Disturbingly, these terrifying-looking creatures were later cooked and eaten as part of a meal. They're the stuff nightmares are made of, and even more unsettling is the fact that they can grow to an even larger size. This final clip comes from Jonathan Bird's Blue World, featuring a heart-pounding encounter with massive tiger sharks. The episode begins with Jonathan and a team of expert shark handlers feeding the enormous predators in the Bahamas. The team interacts closely with the sharks, even touching their noses, coming just inches away from rows of razor-sharp teeth. Despite the sharks being nearly the same size as the divers themselves, the handlers demonstrate remarkable courage, flipping the sharks upside down in a risky show of control. Fortunately, the sharks displayed intelligence and calm behavior, staying gentle and unaggressive, clearly aware that food was on the way. A man spending his day at the beach noticed something unusual moving across the water. At first, it looked like nothing more than ordinary waves, but a closer look revealed what seemed to be a massive, worm-like creature. Its motion wasn't smooth like a sea serpent. It twisted and squirmed more like an enormous worm. Some viewers believed it might be an undiscovered sea creature, but after examining the footage more carefully, many spotted signs of digital manipulation. The way it glided through the water just didn't seem natural, leading most to conclude the video was fake. It happened along a quiet riverbank in Louisiana where a man spotted something enormous lurking near the bushes. The creature moved slowly, its dark shape blending perfectly with the muddy water. Curious, the man tried spraying near it to get a clearer view, but each time he approached, it slid deeper beneath the surface. When it finally reappeared, only a dark outline could be seen, large, smooth, and eerily aware of his presence. Its movements didn't resemble any known swamp animal, leaving many convinced that something truly unusual might be living beneath those waters. A crab fisherman made an unusual catch one day, a wolf eel from the North Pacific. This eerie-looking species can grow over 8 feet long and typically hides inside rocky crevices, lunging out to grab crabs, shellfish, and sea urchins. But then the fisherman spotted something large lodged in the eel's mouth. It was caught mid-meal, a disturbing yet fascinating sight from the deep. It happened in Oregon's Silver Falls State Park, where a narrow river flows through a dark, cave-like tunnel beneath the trees. A group of friends spent the day tubing there, laughing and filming as they drifted downstream. Later, while reviewing the footage, one of them noticed something moving behind their tubes. The figure was large, pale, and oddly human-shaped, with what looked like long, dark hair flowing under the surface. It swam too smoothly to be a person, and was far too big to be any animal native to Oregon. The person filming hadn't noticed it at the time, but once the clip surfaced online, viewers began calling it the river ghost. In Poland, a man recorded something that immediately drew attention. Near the river, several men in dark uniforms were seen pulling a large, unusual-looking body from the water. Whatever it was, they worked quickly, lifting it with care before loading it into a covered truck. The person filming sounded confused, asking what was happening, but no one nearby seemed to know. Once the footage appeared online, theories spread fast. Some believed it was part of a secret government experiment, while others claimed it was a creature authorities didn't want the public to see. River Siren deep in the Malaya Valley, near the hills of North Zealand, Denmark, a man reportedly filmed what he claimed to be a siren in the Malayan River. But the details quickly became strange. Just below the surface, a mythical-looking figure could be seen gliding through the water. It had a long, smooth tail that flicked like a fish and what appeared to be strands of hair drifting around its head. For several minutes, the mysterious figure stayed near the riverbank, eerily calm and unbothered by the man recording it. When the creature finally vanished, skeptics accused him of staging the entire scene. Yet the most unusual claim came from a YouTube comment, warning that showing her face online could make her a target for poachers. Monster of China in Yichang City, China, locals were stunned by what they saw. A long, snake-like creature swimming just beneath the muddy surface of the Yangtze River. The strange shape stretched nearly 10 feet, with a humped back that rippled as it moved through the water. It wasn't just a one-time sighting. Tourists visiting the Three Gorges Dam scenic area reported glimpses of the same mysterious figure at different points along the river. With the Yangtze spanning nearly 4,000 miles as one of the largest rivers in the world, this creature still managed to stand out unmistakably. So far, Yichang forestry officials have made no official statement regarding the creature's identity. Jennifer Harris, 28, went missing on May 12, 2002. Her Jeep was later discovered abandoned along a rural roadside. 6 days after she vanished, the worst fears were confirmed when a fisherman found her body in the Red River. Despite years of investigation, no one has ever been charged. Her death remains a mystery, and the question of who killed Jennifer still haunts those who remember her. Hopefully, one day, this case will be solved, and her family will finally receive the closure they've waited for so long. While magnet fishing, a Reddit user reeled in something unexpected: a soaked pillowcase, heavy and difficult to pull from the water. Inside were dozens of small jewelry boxes, all completely empty. The first thought that came to mind was that a jewelry thief might have dumped the evidence. Whatever the real story was, it turned out to be one of the strangest catches ever recorded. While boating through the dense waters of the Okefenokee Swamp in Georgia, a man captured something strange on camera. A dark head briefly broke the surface before slipping back beneath the water, only to reappear farther away, watching him. Its movements were slow, deliberate, and almost intelligent, as if it knew it was being observed. The short clip left everyone wondering what could be hiding in that murky swamp. It wasn't a gator, it wasn't a fish, it was something else entirely. On May 8, 2013, a group of fishermen in New Zealand came across something completely unexpected. A massive, decaying carcass washed up along the shore. Its shape was unlike anything they had ever seen before. Some believed it was a whale, while others whispered about sea monsters. To this day, the creature's true identity remains a mystery. Horned river creature. Deep in the Amazon, a group of tribesmen claim to have encountered something terrifying near a riverbank. The footage shows a dark, horned figure standing in shallow water, gripping what appears to be a long stick or staff. It didn't react to the shouting or the stones being thrown. Instead, it seemed focused on its struggling prey. The tribesmen hurled rocks in an attempt to save the animal. As the people filming moved closer, trying to scare the creature away, it barely moved. Its face never came into view, but the trapped animal was eventually freed. After 2 more minutes of eerie stillness, the creature simply vanished. What was meant to be a fun day at the beach in Destin, Florida, turned tense in an instant when 2 brothers tried to save a hammerhead shark's life. The footage begins with one man pulling a massive 10-foot hammerhead onto the shore, as hundreds of onlookers watch in disbelief. Another man climbs onto the shark, managing to flip it over and reveal a large fish hook embedded in its head. After a long, intense struggle, they finally remove the hook and prepare to guide the animal safely back into the ocean. The release wasn't easy, but eventually, their efforts paid off. The shark swam free, unharmed, and everyone walked away safely. Pale river monster. At the edge of a quiet river, something pale stirred in the shallow water. It wasn't a reflection or a trick of light. There was definitely something there. As the camera zoomed in, a faint outline came into view. Smooth, human-like, but not quite right. It drifted slowly, almost merging with the current, before slipping back beneath the surface. Its eerie shape and unnaturally calm movements made it difficult to dismiss as just another animal. Whatever it was, it clearly didn't belong there. Indiana Jones's van break-in. Indiana Jones parked his van in the Lake District, expecting a peaceful fishing trip. But at 3 a.m., everything changed. Just after 3:01, while he was lying in bed inside the van, a brick suddenly smashed through the window, landing on the front seat.
Exactly 3:01 in the morning. I'm laying in the bed. It's a mess. I'll explain that shortly. Head was at this side, feet were down that side. I had a sheet over that part so no light could get in and all that. It adds a bit of sound deadening too. And then a brick came through that window straight over onto that seat. After the brick came in, an arm followed it, grabbed my work bag and shot back out the...
Moments later, an arm reached through the shattered glass, grabbed his work bag, and disappeared into the night. Startled and unclothed, he bolted out barefoot, sprinting across the dark estate in pursuit of the thief. Fortunately, a good Samaritan later found the bag tossed over a fence. After tracing his work details, they contacted his company, who reached out to him. Relieved, he retrieved the bag, every single item still inside.
Phone call from work. Somebody had found my work bag chucked over somebody's fence. They'd gone through it, found my work details, contacted my company. My company then contacted me and said, your bag's been found. Great, here's the contact details. Amazing, great. Damn it, I've already spent all the money on ordering everything else. Grateful of today's mankind. They've done their research. They've found out who I was, where I was. They contacted work. I contacted my partner and she went round to a lovely little old lady and picked up the bag, gave her some biscuits to say thank you. And we got the work bag back. And do you know what? Everything was inside it. Absolutely everything.
Shaken but unharmed.
Grateful and shaken, he thanked the elderly woman who helped return it, even bringing her biscuits as appreciation. Since that night, Indy has reinforced his van with extra security, determined not to let another break-in catch him off guard. While walking along a quiet river, two men noticed something unusual lying near the bank. From a distance, it looked like a person, but as they got closer, they realized a long tail stretched out behind the figure. One man crept forward with the camera while the other stayed back. The figure didn't move, remaining completely still, half in the water, half out. When the video surfaced online, it went viral. Some insisted it was the spirit of a mermaid, while others claimed it was an illusion or a staged scene. Either way, no one could deny how unsettling it looked, sitting perfectly motionless at the water's edge. In 2012, 17-year-old Matthew Hales took an early morning trip to Clevedon Pier to photograph the rising tide for his A-level coursework. Using a long exposure time-lapse technique, each frame represented 30 seconds of captured time. Later that day, while reviewing the shots, Matthew noticed something unsettling. In one image, a lone figure stood on the pier facing the camera, but the pier had been closed at the time and wouldn't open for several more hours. Even more disturbing, the figure didn't appear in the frames before or after, meaning it must have stood there for at least 30 seconds before vanishing completely. Local fishermen have also reported strange appearances in the same area, which has since earned a chilling nickname, the Ghost Coast. Could this be the same presence others have claimed to see over the years? A diver exploring off the coast of Australia noticed a shape moving toward him in the distance. At first, it looked like a large fish, but as it drew closer, its true form became clear, a mermaid gliding effortlessly through the water. The creature swam directly above him, seemingly unbothered by his presence. It appeared only for a brief moment, but the diver managed to capture the entire encounter on camera. Many have called it the most convincing mermaid footage on the internet so far, especially given how naturally and smoothly the figure moved through the ocean depths. Deep in the Amazon, a group of fishermen got a shock they never expected. Instead of catching a fish, they spotted something small and glowing creeping toward their camera, a creature that looked like Pikachu's long-lost cousin. The clip quickly went viral, sparking countless wild theories about what it could be. But after a bit of research, the truth surfaced. It was actually a golden brushtail possum, rare, adorable, and shining as if it had stepped straight out of a cartoon. This little creature didn't just steal the spotlight that day, it captured the entire internet's attention. Two people in hazmat suits were seen near a body of water in Utah, with several others from their team standing close behind. They appeared to be investigating what looked like remains already pulled from the water. Moments later, they were captured on video removing what seemed to be a merman. As the footage continued, the scene grew more mysterious. The creature appeared to have a long green tail. But before any more could be recorded, the individuals in hazmat suits placed it on a stretcher and disappeared behind the rocks. The video ended abruptly, leaving viewers with no explanation. and no clue what really happened that day. What started as an exciting day out on the water quickly turned terrifying after a group of anglers hooked an unusually aggressive shark. The footage begins with one fisherman struggling to reel it in after a successful catch, while the captain moves in to assist.
We all up in your craw?
Yeah. Gotta get on it so I don't get around any traps or anything.
Together, they pull the shark closer to the boat in hopes of releasing it safely. But the situation escalates fast. The shark grows more agitated, thrashing violently and even slamming into the side of the boat. Despite the chaos, the crew manages to set the shark free without injury. It was a frightening encounter, but thanks to the captain's calm control, both man and shark walked away unharmed.
I saw some movement there. What was that?
When he noticed ripples spreading far out across the water. Moments later, something large began moving rapidly toward him. He quickly stepped back, recording just long enough to capture a dark, shadowy shape before it slipped beneath the surface again. Locals have long associated Bear Lake with stories of mysterious lake creatures, but this new footage reignited the legend. Whatever it was, it didn't resemble any fish or alligator known to inhabit the area, and that's exactly what made the sighting so unnerving. Off the coast of Los Cabos. In Mexico, a fisherman made an extraordinary discovery, a pink and white creature with strange, almost alien-like features. Experts later identified it as a swell shark, a small species native to the Pacific Ocean. Typically, these sharks have mottled brown skin for camouflage and 5 narrow gill slits on each side of the head. But this specimen was different. Its skin was pale and rough, and it had only 6 gill slits in total, something no one could explain. Some suggested it was albino or leucistic, which would account for the lack of pigmentation, but the missing gill slits remain a mystery. The fisherman eventually released the shark back into the sea, leaving the full truth of this bizarre catch unknown. Sea monster. While aboard a cruise ship, a man filmed something completely unexplainable. At first, it looked as though a massive, swirling wormhole was forming right in the middle of the ocean. Passengers gasped as the strange scene unfolded. But what exactly were they witnessing? Fortunately, it wasn't a sea monster. The vortex turned out to be an iceberg flipping over after the ship's wake struck it, causing the frozen mass to roll dramatically in the water. It was a terrifying sight for a moment, but thankfully, everyone on board was safe. What this fisherman captured in the ocean will shock you. While out at sea, he heard eerie squeaking noises surrounding his boat, as sirens circled his vessel, moving at incredible speed, since those are found in the Pacific Ocean, and he was in the Atlantic. These sirens seemed to be trying to lure him into the water, but he didn't fall for it. The footage went viral, and no one had an explanation.
This is crazy. I heard it.
I'm sure you've heard of the legendary creature known as the Chupacabra, but for the people of Paraguay, they claim to have seen its remains firsthand. It was reportedly found along the riverbank of Itapúa, where locals quickly gathered around in disbelief. The body's skin was pale and hairless, and even the paws or hands were visible. One local got close enough to inspect it with a stick. Another clip later surfaced showing the same creature in nearby footage. As much as skeptics tried to debunk it, many agreed this particular sighting looked disturbingly authentic. In this shocking clip, a large, hairy figure was spotted walking along a beach near Eel River. It moved and looked exactly like a Sasquatch, though the person filming was too far away to capture it clearly. Still, the dark silhouette had arms far too long to belong to a human, and the way it moved didn't fit any monkey either. The footage remains difficult to understand. Uzbekistan monster. This video was uploaded a year ago, but the eerie tone of the clip has left everyone puzzled even now. A fisherman can be seen offering what seems like a gift to the entity said to live in the river. Rumor has it that, in return for such offerings, the creature allows them to fish freely. It might sound like nonsense, but the video certainly makes you wonder. River shadow. In Brunei, locals recorded something eerie moving through the river at dusk. The water was muddy and still, and just beneath the surface, A shape glided smoothly, as if it knew it was being watched. The camera zoomed in, but the fading light made it impossible to see clearly. Its slow, deliberate movement sent chills through those watching. Too strange to be a normal animal, people online argued about what it could be: a mutated fish, a lost creature, or something that shouldn't exist there. Whatever it was, it left the river feeling far less peaceful than before. Lake Giant. In December 2024, near Flathead Lake in Montana, several locals reported seeing something enormous moving just beneath the surface. The calm water suddenly rippled as a dark, massive shape drifted by. For a moment, people thought their eyes were playing tricks on them, but the movement was too smooth and steady to be a log or a passing boat's shadow. Some compared it to the Loch Ness Monster, claiming the shape seemed alive. The creature never resurfaced, but the brief footage left everyone wondering what truly lurks in Flathead's deep waters. And since Loch Ness isn't in America, this had to be another unknown creature. In 2019, a group of friends fishing off the coast of Hawaii noticed something strange in the sky. Unusual colors flashing faintly above the ocean. "It's not that color," one said. "You don't even see a blink on it." The object seemed to pulsate, holding perfectly still over the water. "Look how slow this is going."
It wasn't that color, and you don't even see it blinking on the thing. Except on the ocean, it seems to pulsate.
This thing just stands still. I'm going to be amazed because look how slow this is going.
Do you hear
No
it?
sound whatsoever. You see the light off the...
Oh yeah, it's hitting something. It's searching for something out there. Wow.
Look at this.
Look, it's holding, it's just stalled out there.
A glowing orb hovered silently just above the surface. No sound, no propellers, nothing resembling any aircraft they'd ever seen. It stayed there, unmoving, as if searching for something. To this day, they still can't explain it, but they're sure it wasn't anything ordinary. A fishing trip in the bright waters of Key West took a sudden turn when a man's bait caught the attention of 3 hungry sharks nearby. At the beginning of the video, he can be seen calmly navigating the open ocean, trying his luck at catching fish to take home. After a while, he reels in a fairly large one, but quickly realizes he isn't the only one interested in it.
Ah, shark. No. No. No.
Shocked, he nervously pulls in what's left of his catch, hoping to keep the sharks from taking another bite. After retrieving the remains, he comes up with an idea, attaching his GoPro to a pole to fend them off. Eventually, all 3 sharks turn away, leaving him alone to continue his adventure in peace. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.